generation would rather be broke than work a 9 to 5. Yeah, that's pretty true. That's like the collective consensus of people, you know, because most people are with the collective conscience for, you know, external, like society, people who are connected to a society and they let it govern them. This is what they've come to feel like. That's their mental state now, and it's kind of sad. Let's be enlightened on why that is. Talk to me.
Our generation would rather be broke than to work a 9 to 5. And I can't even believe I'm saying those words, but this is generally the point that people are getting to mentally now. To the point where they don't even want to give their time to a job anymore. People aren't even searching or applying for jobs anymore. They're just like, they just gave up. And
yeah, man. Why do that? Why like apply for a job, spend your time if you're not going to be paid enough to live anyway? You're not going to be paid enough to even enjoy leisure if you can live off of that. For most people that are, I'm going to be speaking mostly in this video from the collective conscience, and then from the end I'll insert a little bit of metaphysical principles as I like to do. But as far as, you know, when it comes to collectively speaking, like what society is feeling right now, people would rather suffer and be broke so they can enjoy their suffering rather than to suffer and like suffer even more, because when they do work, that's not fun. And now the money they're getting from exchanging their fun is not even worth the fun they're exchanging anymore. So it's just kind of bad all around for people as of right now.
the thing is, I have somebody that I've known for a while, right? And she had 2 jobs. The thing is, one of these jobs were her main source of income. Like, that was the main thing that paid the bills. And she had a side job, which I can tell you guys, the side job was Uber. And the first job was like a corporate job, right? Crazily enough, she's actually around my age. Like, she had a very lucky, I guess, time out of college. So she's around our age. But the thing is, she got fired from that corporate job recently. She did her job well. There was no warning signs or anything like that. She didn't do anything wrong. She just got fired from it. And, you know, they had one of those cringy Zoom calls, and, you know, they had to get rid of her. And after that, Uber became her main source of income.
Yeah, jobs don't give you a 2-week notice before they fire you, right? But somehow you're expected to give a 2-week notice when you don't want to work anymore. You see how that works? Does that seem fair? It's not. And that's what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. Having a job is good if you can manage it. You have, like I always say, like I've said in the past, you have to have something that feeds your pocket and something that also feeds your soul. The goal is to make that thing that feeds your soul also feed your pockets. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm working a job, making these YouTube videos for this channel and my other channel linked in the description below. I am Spaidz. Both channels have been growing and I enjoy that. We also have a spiritual channel that we dropped a video on not too long ago. That's also linked in the description below, or it's on my channel page, both channels. And I'm happier than I've ever been. Even given the current circumstances that I'm facing now, which would break most people, I'm happy. I'm at peace because there's a knowing, there's an underlying knowing that this is what I want and am supposed to do. So a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that conviction within themselves. They make their source like, you know, like the source, like this is like my lifeblood. They make that something that is outside of themselves, like a job and in other people's hands. Whereas in your hands, the job's only a tool. We'll unpack more of that later once we get more into the video.
Unfortunately now, she's not so lucky because she's at risk of being evicted now. And to make matters even worse,
Went to college and everything.
Talk to her family members like that, so she has nowhere to probably go. This is the reality for a lot of people out here right now. And I don't mean not messing with your family members. I mean getting laid off or getting fired from a job and you can't find another one. She can't find another job that replaces that income that she was getting before. you know, and doing that job in Uber is very hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she's a very hard worker. So for her to get fired and then she can't find another job is just insane, you know? Especially you got all these certificates. It's like, are you kidding me? But I think of the 9 to 5 as, it used to be a good trade-off. It used to be a very good trade-off. You used to be able to get a house, you traded off your time, and you traded off stability. With the 9 to 5 back then, you could have been able to save up for a while and actually buy a house. Now it seems almost impossible. It's almost impossible to do that. They're pushing the age where people are actually buying houses all the way up until like your elderly years, like you're about 70. Before it was nowhere near that high.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like now people can't even afford to buy houses, let alone can people even afford to buy apartments now. I don't know where you guys live, but where I live at, dog, rent is almost like more than half of your paycheck, right? So by the time you finally pay rent and you know you're caught up on everything, you don't really have money towards yourself. And then you gotta still buy food, you got your car, you know, all that. So it's like, how much money do you really have left over that you're actually saving and putting towards your future?
And here's the thing. Collectively speaking, as a society, you don't have the money. You won't have the money. That's the sad part. When you are in this bubble of society and you're thinking like everyone else does, you don't know about metaphysics. You don't know about any of that. Maybe you're religious, maybe you're not. There is no clear answer for you. You're expected to figure that shit out, and if you don't, you're labeled a bum or whatever, a failure, a dropout, whatever, what have you. Here's the thing, though. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It's always been in your control. It will always be in your control. The only difference is you've handed the joystick to something that isn't you. See, when you hand the figurative joystick to a job, or your boss, or someone who oversees you, that you make responsible for your well-being, your peace, your happiness, your sense of security, then they then have the power to take it away from you at any time. And oftentimes that is what will happen, because if it's not coming from you, it's not cultivated, it's not going to last. I'm not saying that this is what I think is happening. I'm saying this is what I know is happening, because every time I've chose to not abide by these metaphysical principles or not like have conviction in myself, shit didn't work out the way I wanted to every single time. But all of a sudden, when I do have this and I am cultivating that for myself, all of a sudden the channel's going up. All of a sudden, I don't care if the channel gets views or not. I'm doing this because I like making videos, and I just have an underlying knowing that whoever watches it will enjoy it. I just have this knowing. I'm so certain. I'm practicing faith within myself, and that is what spirituality is, my friends. Practicing faith within yourself. This video is going to be a bit spiritual heavy because this is a heavy topic, and I want to introduce some solutions to whoever may be watching this, because I need you to understand it is not over, and it's never over until you declare that it is. Let's get more of the video.
Sure. Right? This is a very real issue out here. Like, people generally tell a lot of people all the time that you need to just save up and try to move to a different area.
Yeah.
But how can you really do that if most of your money, every paycheck, is getting eaten up by things that, you know, you can't save your money. You know, you can't save your money to get out of that predicament. The money's going to bills, and if you don't pay the bills, you're getting kicked out. Where are you gonna go? Right? Most people don't have a place to go. This is what people don't understand. This is why I do recommend, if you are young, you should really try to stay with your parents as long as possible and get stable before you move out. Get stable before you move out. Especially if you plan on moving far, you need to get stable. This isn't.
I agree. I think you do need to be stable before you move out, but that stability doesn't come from a job. Spoiler alert. That stability doesn't come from anywhere else but yourself. That's what you need to realize. You have to cultivate that shit, because you can only have what you already have. That's the annoying law of the universe. Shout out Neural Knowledge. If you know who that is, big ups to you. So you probably have an idea what I'm talking about. If not, you can only have what you already have, because this is a metaphysical principle. It says it in multiple different religions. Come closer when I say this to you. Real close. It says it in Muslim, what's the book called for, what's the Bible called for Muslims? I think the Quran. It says it in the Quran. Allah does not change the circumstances of people until they change what is within themselves. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's simply what the phrase means. In the Bible, he who has, more will be given. He who does not, even what he has will be taken away. It's in every religion. This is what I need you to understand. They're telling you, if you are focused on what you do not have, you will perpetually not have. And what you do have will go away. Because you are signaling that this lack, this you not having something, is exactly what you are. It is exactly what is for you. Because focus is how you pour yourself into things, what you focus on, your emotions, your expectations, right? So why is it that people go, oh, I knew this was going to happen, when something bad happens? And when something good happens, they go, finally. You're making the good rare, yet you're normalizing the bad. But when the bad happens, you try to treat it as rare. You say, why is this happening to me? I knew this was going to happen. In the same vein. It doesn't really make much sense, does it? Now, what I'm telling you is not easy to do. Not one bit. Especially if you've gone your whole life thinking about what you don't have, being fearful of what's to come, and so on, what have you. But what I'm telling you to do is going to be simple at the end of this video. I'm just laying the groundwork to put these little light bulb moments in your head. Let's get more of the video.
Isn't even like an option anymore. I know you may be embarrassed to live with your parents. Listen, you gotta...
Don't be embarrassed to live with your fucking parents in the biggest of 26. Or the years beyond. Till they make this shit cheaper, you live with your parents for as long as you can. You live with your parents for as long as you are able to. For as long as you want to. Because that's just simply more efficient. If you can't do that, get a roommate. If you can't do that, get a partner. You're gonna need collective conscience in like what most of society is dealing with. You're going to need another source of income. You just are. You're going to need, whether that be through another person, whether that be through, you know, you finding a way to do that, cultivating, whatever. The basic job for most people, and that's the beauty, all truths are half truths, but for most people, as of right now, it's not enough. Which is why I tell you, do not be ashamed with living with your parents. I don't give a damn how old you are. If they let you do that and you are contributing, you shouldn't feel ashamed. You have a roof over your head. You have a place to go. You could be doing something that feeds your soul, like this, making content. And until that takes off, you're working a job, but you have a place to go. I don't see something that's more perfect than that.
It's stable before you do all of that, okay? A lot of people in our generation are realizing that you can work a full-time job and still be broke. So why are you exchanging 40 hours of your week for something that generally won't mean anything? It's only like, it's really living in survival mode. Most people aren't thriving anymore. It doesn't feel good to be putting yourself through all of this anymore. It's like, what is the point, right? And another thing that I want to mention is a lot of people in our generation are seeing a lot of people my age, some even younger, that are really changing their lives and their families' lives off of stuff that they're building now. And it's not working a job. It's actually creating their own thing and doing what they want to do. Like, for instance, for example, this whole social media stuff,
True.
Right? Of course, everybody's not going to do it.
And this is what I need you to understand. This social media thing is only the tip of the iceberg, creating content. There's a myriad of other shit you can do for yourself to get ball, to get ahead. There's programs, there's all this out there. The thing is, it will not seek you out if you are not seeking to obtain it. Do you understand me? What I'm saying is, if you are a negative fuck and you believe that nothing out here will ever help you, then nothing out here will ever help you. It's as simple as that. That's the bottom line, the brass tacks. If you believe nothing out here will help you and you are destined to be poor, alone, and unhappy, that will be your reality. This is why I'm telling you, you must shift inwardly first, because everything else has no choice but to follow. And that is more evident because when you were born, you didn't own anything. You don't own anything around you at all. You stepped in and assumed the role. You can do that with your desired reality. What you want, you can do that. No one knows you better than you. How would you feel if you were successful? How would you feel if this, that, or whatever you want? Bottle that feeling and carry it throughout the day. Try to feel that feeling as much as you can. That's the key, my friends. What you feel majority of the time is what will be reflected back to you.
But it's like you can see what's possible. You see the new way that people are changing their lives and their families' lives. So it's like when you are thinking about working at a job and you're exchanging 40 hours of your time for something that is not helping you thrive, it's not really helping you live like how you want to live. It's like,
and if you want my opinion on the whole job thing, I don't think anyone should be working full time if you're younger. I don't. I really don't. If you don't have any kids, you don't have a family that depends on you. You don't have okay, my bad. I was trying to do fantastic shit. But if you don't have like pets or whatever, you don't have like someone you have to take care of with your own money and you have no other source of income, I advocate, especially if you live with your parents, work part-time and use that other free time you have to do something for yourself that can turn into your career. That is more broad than people will have you believe. Oh, you gotta be an entrepreneur. No, you don't. You gotta do this. No, you don't. Look within, my friend. Use that time to look within. That's what they're trying to stop you from doing. By saying you have to work all these hours. By saying you must be in survival mode. By saying you must grind. By saying you must be in monk mode. No. Lock in on yourself. Psychoanalyze yourself like you do these fucking influencers, and you're probably doing with me when I say I like them boys. Psychoanalyze yourself. Look within. Analyze, why do I feel this way? Why do I believe this? Why do I think that? And then shit will start to become more clear to you of what you want to do, right? People say that there's no time to have to yourself. Well, no, because that's what you believe. You've declared, like Star and Stripe from My Hero, New Order, I have no more time for myself. That's what will be for you. It's all about what you decide is real. Your faith, your conviction. Where your conviction lies, that is what will be reflected back to you. And I'm not saying this as someone who's perfect at using this shit. I'm saying this as someone who, when he doesn't use it and he's not perfect at doing it, I always pay the price. I always feel that fire. And when I do use it, I always see reality reflecting the same notion back to me. Because that's how it works, my friends. And I'll tell you exactly how it works at the end of this video.
Well, what's the point of even working this job then? Yeah, you're surviving, but who wants to be surviving their entire life?
No one.
I know people that generally want to check out of here because of their lives. Like, it's that serious.
Yep.
And it's really disgusting how companies will really just let you go like you were nothing after you giving them 10 to 20 years of your entire time. It's like these companies...
But when you quit, you must do a 2-week notice.
More and more apparent now. You see a whole bunch of videos of people getting fired. Like, they've been working there for years. And it's like these companies don't care for you as much as you thought they did. They don't have your back like you thought they would. These companies are literally like just laying people off and just firing them out of nowhere. Yep. No notice, no nothing. And it's like now you're thrown back out into the...
That is what most people are experiencing, right? That's not the truth for everyone, though. This is what we must keep in mind. And the reason why we must keep that in mind is because if we realize this is not the truth for everyone, then that could be you. You could be the person that rule doesn't apply to. That's why I'm saying, my friends, all truths are half-truths. Remember that.
And now jobs are getting...
Because for something to be a truth, it has to happen 100% of the time. When I drop this bottle of L-theanine, gravity will make it fall 100% of the time. But if someone tells you there's no jobs out here and that very same person has a job, they are literally a contradiction to the rule that they're telling you. Think about it. Really think about it. If someone says there's no jobs out here and you know multiple people around you that have a job, that is not a rule. That is not true. If you know people that are successful, if people say it's hard to be successful, that is not a rule. That is not true. It doesn't have to be true for you. When you inherit and listen to advice without analyzing it and just letting it flow to your noggin, and you're going, you inherit the limit beliefs. You inherit the limiting beliefs. You inherit their perspective. You inherit their frequency. The frequency they're abiding when they're telling you this shit. That's what I need you to be wary of.
It's so incredibly difficult to get that it's like, okay, what the hell do I do? And this is the scary question that I've been asking, because it's like, yo, I'm trying to create something on the side for myself, but it's like everything is not even guaranteed. Even this is risky, right? So it's like you always got to have a backup plan. And that's why I tell people that try to really go through the workforce now. And
this is what I need you to understand. This is a yap heavy video. I'm sorry if you're not someone who likes to listen to yap, but if you are watching this video, chances are you do, because we do yap over here. And I'm glad that you're watching. And if this is resonating with you, let me know in the comments below. He said that this is risky. What we both are doing. Me reacting to his video, me making videos over on hesSpaidz, me, putting this video out here. It's not guaranteed that it's going to work. I decided that it is, and that it will. Which is why I have the utmost conviction in doing this. Which is why I still post videos even when no one's watching. Because I know people will be watching. I know for a fact this is going to be what I do. This is nothing but practice. All of this is practice and me honing my craft. The thing is, when you don't have that knowing, it's not faith, right? You have to go a step beyond. It's not hoping. You have to go a step beyond. It's not praying. You have to go a step beyond. It's knowing. When I'm sitting in this chair, I know when I lean back, it's going to support me. I know when I walk on the floor, I'm not going to fall through it. I know when I lay on my bed, it's going to support me. That's the type of faith in knowing you need to have with your desired reality. Now, secondly, he said that this is risky as well. I'm going to circle back to that. Everything you do in life is risky. If you think about it, every single thing you do. This chair could break if I lean back. My bed could break. Though I could fall through the floor. I could get struck by lightning walking. Everything you do has a level of danger to it. The only thing is that level of danger gets astronomically higher when you pour yourself into it. Fear is faith in reverse. When you fear something from happening, it magnifies that thing. And it's basically like a footnote to the universe of, hey, I want this. Because it's what occupies your headspace. It's what you're focused on. You focus on that not happening. You're basically going to a restaurant where they don't speak English and going, I don't want sushi. I do not want this. You're pointing at it. I hit the mic, my bad. You're pointing at it. I don't want sushi. They don't speak that language. So they're like, I guess you want sushi. Right? That's exactly what you're doing when you're like, I'm afraid of being homeless. I'm very definitely afraid of losing my job. I'm definitely afraid of not being successful. And that's all you think about? You just fear? You're ruled by fear? Terrible way to live, because it will always come to you. You only can get what you already have. You have a lot of fear. You're going to get more fear. That fear will be reinforced and galvanized. Let's get back to it.
And all of that, because it's not guaranteed that you're going to keep that job, but it's not guaranteed that if you get fired, that you're going to be just comfortable and living off your paychecks, and they're going to make sure you're good. That's not guaranteed at all.
For most people,
you may be fucked after you get fired, so you got to have a backup plan for all of this. The problem is, I see a lot of people in older generations, or people that just generally older than us in general, they always say that we're lazy.
Yep.
But the thing is,
they don't have good advice.
They
don't have good advice for the younger generation, Gen Z in specific. And the reason why that is because they don't realize what we realize. They're still blinded by the American dream farce, right? Some of them have accomplished it, but it wasn't because they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. It was because they were practicing metaphysical principles without being knowledgeable of it. You can do it without knowing what it is. It's easy. You can do it without knowing what it is. The only difference is they didn't know what it is, so they don't know what to tell you. They tell you, well, just do it. It's easy. Just fucking do it, right? But with Gen Z, we see what is actually happening. We see the billionaires pulling their cock out, putting a condom on. Well, not even putting a condom anymore. Just going in raw, you know? Slaying that, just slaying, you know, slaying you. Slaying everyone who's not rich and powerful, rich and wealthy. But here's the thing. They're not exactly slaying everyone that's rich and wealthy. They're slaying everyone who doesn't have the ability to cultivate shit within themselves. Because they are the most vulnerable. The reason why they're the most vulnerable? They don't have that knowing within them. So that them not having that knowing allows them to be fucked. It allows them to buy into the notion that the limited is their reality. I'm going to tell you one thing. You are directly connected to the infinite. So why would you let the limited disrupt you? It says in the Bible, ye are gods. Be still and know that you are God. You are. What is God? I view God as a collective conscience. Scientists cannot explain what consciousness is. As of right now, humans are the only ones that are capable of having consciousness. Consciousness comes directly from the collective conscience. The collective conscience is God itself, made up of everyone's mind, which is why he says you are all brothers and sisters. And you're also all God. So, let's use it scientifically. You take a drop of the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. You can trace that back to the Pacific Ocean no matter how far it's traveled. No matter where it's been, you can still trace it back to there. That's why you are God. You have a droplet of the infinite within you. Listen to me, you do. You have a droplet of the infinite within you, and you can trace it back to the collective conscience, which is why you are God. So why the fuck are you letting all of this shit that you can touch, see, and feel dictate how you not feel spiritually, but feel with your hands? You're letting that dictate you. When this is the realm of the limited, the 3D is limited. Nothing on this plane was here before a human thought of it and brought it here. Not this camera I'm using, not this computer I'm using. Shit, not even the roads we drive on. Nothing was thought of until, nothing was brought here until we thought of it and brought it here. The creative power of your subconscious mind. That is the God power within you. People are going to let this fly over their heads. And to them I say, so be it. But to those who are listening to me and understanding, trying to at least, let me know what you think in the comments. And with all that being said, here's what I'm going to close out with. An exercise. When you're seeing this, put this into practice. Put this into practice as soon as you close out this video. Shout out to the Flag Trap. Shout out to the Italian Seasoning. Here's what I need you to do. 1 week. Act as if you already have what you want. Move as if you already have what you want. Walk through life as if everything you have is already in your possession. Be at peace with everything. Decide that everything serves you, including things that are bad, adversity. Decide that it serves you. And come back to this video and let me know what has been unfolding for you. With all that being said, 1,000 thanks for watching. Have a better day than me. And this is why I say to have a better day than me. Because even if my day was good, I want your day to be better. I want your day to be astronomically better. I want you to live in your desired reality just as I am too. Live from the end.